everybody? Welcome back to the Survivor Now podcast and the Survivor 48 pre-show. We are here to discuss episode 6 of Survivor 48, and I'm actually hoping that I get to watch it tonight because if you guys remember, I missed a few weeks back because there was tornadoes going on, and I missed the entire episode. The entire state of Indiana is under like a tornado watch tonight. Like it's like super bad winds and it's coming in. It's not here yet, but they've been talking about it for days. So like stock up, get prepared. So I don't have much faith that the weatherman is going to stay off my screen tonight. Like I feel like he's going to come on and be like, hey, sorry, you're missing your programming, but there's important stuff we need to talk about, which yes, I hope everybody is safe, but I've always been against the weatherman coming on the screen because I'm like, we already have the ticker at the top of the screen. Like, why do we need you also telling us? Like, but that's a different story for a different day. My name is Randy. I am joined by Ollie, Tori, and this evening, Josh is pulling double duty. Josh, what's up, man?
I'm doing good. Excited to make my pre-show debut. I've never done this before, and it's a really fun concept. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's easy. It's lighthearted. It's easy going. You guys can also join us in our Ancient Voices live chat. We already have the chat going. Hollow says, go Pacers. Yes, we just qualified for any NBA fans. We just secured the playoffs. Let's see. Hollow also adds in, hey, it's very windy. It is. It has been insane today in Indiana, in the Midwest in general, I think. Josh, are you getting any weather? Tori, are you?
Now it's pretty chill, but we definitely had thunderstorms like all morning. It was pretty rough.
Yeah, it's been storming in Chicago as well.
Oh, so yeah, it's on its way here. And yes, thank you for saying go Pacers. I kind of feel like I should have changed because I feel like I'm trying to look like a high school senior right now or something. Bell fan says, be safe, Randy. Thank you so much. And then Amy says, Randy is weather jinx. I'm telling you, they don't want me to watch this season of Survivor, this phenomenal season.
And like, you live in Indiana. It's not like you live in like Florida or California or something that's like really,
well, you know what they say, like in March, if you go in like a lamb, you're going out like a lion and vice versa. And like, it's just all the storms are coming at once. Well, let's go ahead. And before we start talking about tonight's episode, we introduced a new little segment last week, which was a lot of fun. We blind ranked Survivor location. So let's go ahead and get into our icebreaker this evening. Yes, we're doing this. It's a fun little challenge. Ollie still hates the noise. I can already tell by the look of his face. Josh, they said it has like a serial killer like vibe.
I can see it.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Thank you very much.
It will be changed by next week. So last week we blind ranked. This week for our little Survivor game to get us started off this evening, I want you guys to name me the top 10 youngest, or not top 10, but I want you guys to name me the youngest Survivor winners ever, the 10 youngest Survivor winners ever. So you don't have to do this in order. I've got them listed right here. I'll tell you as you get them right. Let's see if you guys can get all 10. Go ahead.
Do we like take turns?
Yeah, work together. You guys can work together.
Tori, go for it.
Fabio.
Mm-hmm.
Fabio's number 1 at 21 years and 1 month.
And Jenna Marasco was also 21.
Jenna Marasco.
Yeah, 21 years old and 10 months. That is number 2.
We're doing top 10, right? Not top 5.
Yeah, these are 10. Who are the 10 youngest Survivor players ever?
Sophie Clark was 21 or 22, I think.
Adam Klein. Sorry.
Oh, Adam Klein is number 10 at 25 years and 4 months.
Wait, what did Josh say?
I said Sophie Clark was either 21 or 22.
She was 23, I think.
Yeah.
Sophie Clark is number 3, 21 years, 362 days old.
Is Michelle on there?
Michelle Fitzgerald, that is number 8, 25 years, 2 days.
And then someone said Marianne too.
Yeah.
Marianne is number 5, 23 years old, 5 months.
I want to say it. I want to throw out a wild one. Natalie White.
Natalie White. Natalie White's not on here.
Going through like all the seasons in my head.
I know, me too. Was Amber 25?
Amber is not on this list either. Okay. You guys are still missing. So right now you've got Judd,
Jenna. Aris.
Aris, number 6, 24 years, 2.5 months. You guys are still missing
Todd.
4, 7,
Todd Herzog.
9. Todd Herzog, number 4, 22 years, 6 months.
Okay.
So how many? We're missing 2.
Parvati?
You guys are missing
Parvati was 25.
25. She's number 9, 25 years, 2.5 months.
And JT was 25.
JT, number 7, 24 years.
Oh my God. Young list is a good list of winners.
Yeah.
So let me go through the full list for everyone. Ollie, you did great just keeping track of numbers.
I was doing too many things at once.
We have so many comments. I was paying attention. We've got so many people. Were you guys cheating in the comments? Maybe. Someone said Cochran. Okay. So Judd is the youngest Survivor winner ever at 21 years, 1 month. Jenna Maraska comes in at number 2 at 21 years and 10 months. Sophie Clark, number 3, 21 years, 362 days. So almost 22. Todd Herzog was 4th at 22 years, 6 months. Marianne was 5th, 23 years and 5 months. And then you had Aris at 6, 24 years, 2.5 months. JT was 7th, 24 years and 6 months. Michelle was 8th, 25 years and 2 days. Parvati, 9th, 25 years, 2.5 months. And Adam Klein was 10th at 25 years and 4 months. Good job, team. Wow. I wanted to do that because Josh is like just like you, Tori, and Ollie as well. You guys are all like Survivor historians and you've got great memories. So I'm like, I want to test them. I want to see how good they are.
Yeah, that was so fun.
So great job. So that was our icebreaker of the week. Come back next week and see our next little challenge that I put these people through. All right, let's get to the episode that's happening tonight. And thank you for everyone for tuning in. That gave enough people time to come into the pre-show. And let's get started here. So I do want to touch base on the big topic that happened last week because it has been all over social media. Survivor was really watched last week. In fact, it was such a big topic that they re-aired the episode Friday night on CBS at 8 p.m. Eastern time, which some people are saying they've never done before. I feel like they used to do that in older seasons. I know they haven't done it in a minute, but didn't they used to like air the episodes like on a Friday, like re-air or something, or was that the first time ever?
They said it's the first time ever, and I believe them. I have no memory of them re-airing them.
I think what comes to mind for me is that I think they played like the premiere or one of the episodes of a season like right after the Super Bowl. I want to say maybe
like
2 seasons debuted after the Super Australia and All Stars debuted after the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Okay, so just like a weird circumstance. But yeah, for the most part, like that was the first time ever, which was really cool. Obviously, we're talking about the moment between Eva and Joe, and perfect time to air that episode as well, because is it a day or is it a month? They're celebrating autism awareness, I believe, like today or something like that. I saw this. I'm so sorry, guys. I told myself to make a note and I didn't. But it was a beautiful moment. And over the past week, it has gotten so much, I mean, what publicity basically. I've had friends when I go to work at, Top Golf, my day job, they've come up to me, Randy, I've seen Survivor all over TikTok, all over my social medias. And I've just been saying, that's your sign to actually watch Survivor because this is such an incredibly touching moment, such a great season. Ollie, I'll go to you first on this. What have you seen? Usually you're a social media person and you talked about it on Got Something For You. What has been the overall reaction since this moment aired last week?
Not much.
Oh, don't say that.
I'm joking. The reaction from not just obviously the fans, but the cast, alumni around, like it has been so positive. Everyone's been shining a really positive light on it. Obviously, you have got some haters, but overall, it's been really positive. Like everyone's been sharing. I mean, Mike Bloom and Dalton Ross did some really lovely interviews with Ava and Joe, so I'd recommend go checking those out.
Ooh, yes, definitely. Everyone's been posting some absolute incredible content. We obviously on the after show, Josh, I'll go to you for this. We had a lengthy discussion on the after show. Bruce talked about how his brother and his nephew are both autistic. You added in, everyone who's out there who are haters, I hate to say it, but yeah, haters. Like everyone out there who has a problem with this. Survivor has always been about inclusion and what's the word I'm
representation.
Thank you, representation. Yeah. And so, do you have more to add on before we kind of get into what's happening tonight with the merge on this topic and what happened last week? Because it was a great moment.
I mean, it was really cool. It was really cool to see that so clearly articulated and put out there in such like a positive, like empathetic light, and in a way that could and should and did blow up on social media. It was awesome. I too had people like reaching out to me who don't watch Survivor and are like, "Oh, what's going on with this? Like, I hear it was really cool. Like, did Jeff?" I had probably like 5 people text me like, "Is this really the first time ever that Jeff cried?" And like,
that we saw on camera at least.
He definitely did at a family visit once, once or twice, I believe. Yeah, like when Brenda and her dad had a nice moment. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But it was a really cool story to watch unfold, and it, I don't know, clearly is like getting to a lot of people that wouldn't normally see it. So great moment. Love all the feedback it's getting, and maybe there's going to be a lot more people tuning in tonight that weren't last week.
Yeah, I think the viewership numbers, if I saw correctly, 4.6 million tuned into the episode last week, which is absolutely incredible. I was talking to my mom about it, and she always says, Randy, you do this podcast, but Survivor can't go on forever. And I'm like, why can't it? Because the numbers are still incredible at the moment. Obviously, Jeff's got to retire at some point, and we'll see where it goes from there. But that's a story for a different day as well. Tori, do you have anything to add on before we move on to tonight's episode about what last week meant to you, seeing it and everything?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much echoing what everybody else said. It was just such a beautiful moment. I mean, I've been obsessed with these two from the beginning, as many people have, and just to see the empathy of all of the players, just, coming from a place of understanding that, like, if my daughter was out there, if my, loved one was out there, I would want them to treat that person the way that Joe treated Eva. And I just love seeing that in people. So it was just great. I loved it.
And I don't want to take this very emotional situation and twist it into like the game talk, but I do love that they allowed Joe to go over there. And I almost feel like we need to abolish that rule of like tribes can't talk to each other. We see it all the time in Australia. I don't know if they have the rule in Survivor Australia because tribes talk and all the time and do stuff. I think we should just let it play out because we'll get emotional moments like this. We'll get some incredible game moments. So I'm, petitioning for CBS to just abolish that rule. Josh?
I mean, that rule didn't always exist. Like famously in Heroes versus Villains, like JT slipped Russell the idol, like after when they're all like congratulating each other after a challenge. So I don't know when that rule came into effect, but it definitely wasn't always there.
Yeah.
We got a few comments I do want to show as well. Not to like boost my ego here, but Phenom adds in, or can we have a season where you compete for Jeff's job? And then my brother says Randy is the next host of Survivor. I would literally, Jeff has never played Survivor. And if they don't want to go the former player route, they're going to hire someone in TV already. But let's just say for the sake of things, if they came up to me, Randy, you can be the next host, but you can never play Survivor, I would gladly accept. I would love it. So maybe by the time Jeff retires, they'll be able to see our podcast and be like, well, maybe Randy can step up. All right. I want to let's get to talking about tonight's merge episode. That's right. Tonight is the quote unquote merge. And we've got a lot to talk going into it. We have 14 people remaining in the game. Am I right about that? 13. Or is it 13? I instantly second guessed myself. Man, I had the hook and everything there. 13 people remaining in the game. So I want to touch base on the remaining castaways and where we're at as we kind of go. I always say the merge is the playoffs. Now, granted, they've changed it over the years to where now we have this like mergatory. So this is almost the play into the playoffs, almost the next couple episodes, but we'll definitely discuss that as well. Let's get to our first topic. We asked, you voted. So we posted some questions, some polls onto our social medias, and I wanted to take a look at the first one, and that is, how will tonight's merge be structured. Now, here were the options. 2 non-tribes earn the merge. This is what we've seen for the past couple of seasons. A normal merge, maybe Survivor's going to shock us and they're going to go back to where it's just, hey, we're merged, immunity challenge, someone's going home. Or 2 people are going home, 2 will win immunity, which could be happening next week. We've seen that as well, where they split the tribes up. Yo, you're both going to tribal council. You're both going to vote someone out, but someone's going to have immunity. So, Tori, I'm going to go to you first on this one. How do we think this merge is going to play out tonight with 13 people coming together?
So I voted on social media for the fact that it was going to be some level of earning the merge. I don't necessarily love that. I would love for them just to go back to regular merge. Everybody gets a feast. I know like a lot of people may agree with me, some may disagree, but I personally really miss that. Last season they did something different, but essentially to me, that something different was just like regular merge, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, it was.
At least that was my interpretation of it, and I think a lot of people felt the same way. But either way, I think that it's going to be in some way, it's going to be earning the merge.
Ollie, I'm hearing Tori, but I want them to go back to the normal merge. I know we all want it, but it's not looking great for that option because of we still have 13 people in the game. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it's weird to me that we lose 5 people pre-merge and then it's instantly into the merge. Like that feels like so short.
The pacing is so off.
It feels
so
like
bad.
I'm so sorry to bring in like regular season terms, but or like regular season in terms of like sports terms. I keep bringing up sports.
It's like the NBA. Everybody makes the playoffs.
Exactly. Yes, that's honestly better than what I was thinking. But Ollie, what are you thinking about tonight's merge? We've seen some images online about everyone coming together on the beach. We all know the merge is happening.
Yep.
Is it going to be same old, what we've been seeing in the new era seasons where it's probably going to be you guys, Jeff will give a 5-minute long speech about you guys aren't on a tribe. You gotta kind of navigate this. Like, what are you expecting tonight?
That actually wasn't half bad. Well done on that impression. Yeah, I think it's going to be same old. It's going to be earn the merge. Someone goes, and then next week we're going to see 2 tribes, 2 people go. Possibly one person doesn't make the jury. I just have that sinking feeling. I feel like that's what's going to happen. I do feel like it's an earn the merge type of round.
You guys are literally like knife to the heart right now because I really wanted to not.
Well,
John,
here's what I think. Last season they still called it earn the merge, but really, I mean, just one person won immunity, and that feels like a regular merge. It was convoluted because they had the 2 teams of 6 compete in a challenge for the right to compete in an individual immunity challenge, and then Genevieve won the advantage where she skipped that and just joined the challenge. So technically it was only 7 people competing for individual immunity, and then and Kyle won, but it was that was essentially a normal merge, just one person immune. Like, they could, the branding and like how they got there was a little clunky, but still it was just like one person winning immunity. I'd like to think maybe this is like foolish optimism on my part, but I really think that that's what they're going to do again tonight. Just like one person wins immunity. Yeah, and then next week will be the quote unquote merge, but I do think they're going to do the thing where they split up into 2 groups of 6, and one person doesn't make the jury and the other one does. I see that happening.
Yeah, that's always a tough situation, and I would hate to be that person. I think that's other than going out first, that might be the worst spot you can go out in the game is right before making the jury, because you feel like we were engraved over the years. You make merge, you're going to make the jury. For the most part, there were seasons where you make the merge and they vote someone out first and then they don't make the jury and then they start the jury later. But for the most part, you make the merge, you make the jury. By the way, do I still sound okay? I forgot that I used this mic I was using this mic to record like a demo song, and it was turned up now. It was turned up all the way, and I need to turn it back down because I have a loud voice and it can come off very loud. So I'm so sorry if I was super loud to anybody.
No, you sound fine.
It was quiet for a second, but it's fine.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the answer here. This is what you guys think. You guys voted. How will tonight's merge be structured? 60% say 2 non-tribes earn the merge. 22% think it's going to be a normal merge. That shocked me. 22% of people think it's just going to be regular merge, and then 18%, 2 people going home, 2 people winning immunity. I would not be mad if the 22% ends up being right.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what they're
Okay.
thinking, because if I would call last season a normal merge.
Okay.
Given those 3 options, I would say what happened last season. The option that best describes what happened last season was a normal merge, and that's what I would vote would happen.
Oh, see, I wasn't thinking that because they on the show called it something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was kind of thinking that too as I was voting on social media, but that's what my mind was. I was like, if they do what they did last season, which I think they might, I'm voting for that first option. So
Yeah.
Well, there's something else that I wanted to talk about. We also posted this on social media for you guys as well to vote on. It's, again, got to do with the merge. Every time we see a merge take place, there's a lot of storylines that are going to be kind of mingling together tonight. If I'm mixing together is the word that I was looking for. I mean, let's just go ahead and go through them. Actually, I'll go to Josh. What storyline, sorry to put you in the spotlight here, but what storyline are you looking forward to seeing once everyone comes together? For example, it could be like the Vula 4 where they go. What storyline is sticking out to you?
I think what is sticking out to me the most is how it's going to go with Kyle and Camilla and because they were part of initially like locked in with David and Chrissy. And then right before they swap, there's like kind of get something going with Mitch and Charity too. And it's unclear. They're definitely like in the middle of that tribe. But then they go last week and we see they form this other tight foursome with Joe and Shaheen. So it's like, okay, they have a bunch of different options, a bunch of different ways they could go. They're part of 3 different foursomes. Do they just like rally everybody together? Do they like cut one of them loose? It definitely seems like they're going to be in the driver's seat though. If what we've seen so far, it leads to anything, I do think that they are going to be in a powerful position.
Well, before I go to Tori and Ollie here, that was one of you brought up the Siva situation. I wanted to bring up the question that we had for everybody, and that was, sorry, I kind of just chuckled because I don't know why every time these pop up on screen, it gives me like a Jeopardy feeling. Of like, here's the topic. What will the main topic be during the merge tonight? Eva having an idol, will that kind of get spread around camp? The strength of the old Siva tribe with the fact that they have 6 people remaining in the game compared to the other tribes. How big of a threat someone is. We've seen that a lot when someone's like, we have to all gang up on this person. Or is it none of the above? There's going to be something else talked about. Tori, what's sticking out to you? It could be one of those 3 options. It could be something else that I didn't even list there. What storyline are you interested in tonight?
I'm interested in a lot because there seem to be, I think I read somewhere, and so I can't take credit for this, but someone somewhere said that this is the season of pairs. Yeah. And somewhere in this merge, one of those pairs isn't going to be able to stick together. So I think I'm just keeping my eye on everybody that's made like a one-on-one relationship. So it's not necessarily like one specific group, but just that aspect of the season in general.
Ollie, do you have something to add on? Because Tori brings up a great point. I mean, Jeff's been very vocal about duos this season. We have a question later on about duos because there's a lot of strong ones forming. And honestly, I think it's kind of funny that they bring it up about this season because I've been saying when we look back in a couple years when the new era is done or whatever they want to call 51 and on, I think we can look back and if you didn't want to call it the new era, you could call it the duo, the evolution of duos, because we've seen so many duos in the new era. I think that's honestly the new way to play Survivor. It used to be, you stick to your alliance till the very end. Now alliances were very heavy. Then we saw voting blocks where people would just switch every so often. And then it got to the point it wasn't even voting blocks. It was like you're working with someone new every week. And now in recent years, it feels like you get in a duo and you stick with that duo up until final 6, final 5, and then you cut them loose. I mean, you can remember as recently as, 46, Charlie and Maria, very powerful duo. In 47, help me out. I'm drawing a blank on 47. Who is a strong duo? I mean, you could
Sam and Genevieve.
As far together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Sam and Genevieve. I didn't feel like there was a duo that stuck together from the get-go on 47, like it was kind of in 47.
No.
45, you've got
You got like Austin and
Drew.
D,
the one.
Austin and
I was
Drew,
about to say Andy.
D and Julie.
Sam and Sarah were probably the strongest duo that we saw last year.
Sierra.
Yeah,
Or Sierra, yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
said. I don't know if did I say Genevieve? I don't know, but
Sam and Genevieve, they were towards the end, but
Mm.
that didn't start until, I don't know, final 10 or so.
That's right. That's
Sue
right.
and Caroline.
Yeah,
there you
Sue
go.
and
That's
Caroline, or Gabe and Caroline.
That was a good pair.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is the new era. There's a lot of duos. So I
Yeah.
don't want to say it's just this season, but Tori makes an excellent point. And Ollie, we kind of went on a tangent there, but what are you looking forward to tonight? I mean, we have some people in the chat giving you some great ideas of, like, Anthony says Joe and Eva reuniting. I just noticed that these were starred. So, save that one for later. Adrian adds in Vula reuniting, Mary and Say reuniting.
I'm excited for that one.
Say and Mary fighting again. There's a lot of great stuff coming up. What are you excited for, Ollie?
Just saying, I don't think we're going to see. Well, we could actually see Sarah and Mary fighting, actually. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see like OG Vula kind of come back together, because I feel like that dynamic is very interesting, especially when like those three, Mary, Say, and Cedric, just chaos, and I love it. So yeah, I definitely feel like we could see that. I definitely think they're going to give a section to Joe and Eva reuniting just because of last week. But yeah, I feel like we're gonna see someone kind of. I feel like we're gonna see someone get ganged up on, but not because they're a threat. Like, I feel like it's kind of in between, like the third question and the last. Like, it is kind of to do with somebody being a threat, but it's also none of the above. So that's where I'm kind of leaning. I feel like someone is going to get targeted. And actually, I'm going to bring up the second point, which is the Siva thing, where I feel like everyone kind of goes for possibly someone from Siva and just goes, take them, they're the sacrificial lamb. Like, I could see something like that.
Ooh, that might get into our predictions a little bit later, because you guys did vote on who you think's going home. Let's go ahead and reveal what everyone said for this question. How about 37%? This is actually close. 37%. The strength of the old Siva tribe is going to be the main topic tonight. 25% for Eva having an idol. 25% for how big of a threat someone is. And then 13% said none of the above and didn't think it was going to be any of that. What do you guys think? I mean, how important is the strength of the Siva tribe going to be going into tonight's episode? That's a tribe with 6 people. You look at the original Vula tribe, who has is it Vula that is the green tribe? I'm not mixing them up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Vula, the original Vula, you have Cedric, you have Mary, you have Say. And then the original Loggy tribe, now they're down to, is it 4 people?
Mm-hmm.
So is this something that we could be seeing tonight of, like, yo, whoever has to go, it has to be from Siva, because that is a strong
Possibly.
6 if they all stick together.
I think possibly, but I think we've seen throughout this pre-merge that tribe isn't as strong as people kind of realize. So I think that will be the dynamic that gets played. Jay just put a really interesting comment in the chat, which I think is very reminiscent to what could be happening, which is kind of the Reba sacrificing Jay Meyer. May she rest in peace. We love her. Like, I could
make it sound like she died now.
Well, it was rough.
But yeah, like we could see something like that come like awry this episode, because that Siva tribe are not as strong as people are making it out to be. So
that could be true. I can honestly see any of these things happening, which is probably why it was so close. But I do think, as much as I love watching Say, I kind of think this isn't going to be based on necessarily her threat level. Like, people are going to, I think, see that she's playing hard. But it might also be like a Rome situation where they all kind of like come together and are like, we kind of need to get this person out. I wonder if that's more like, that's kind of like, I know this is kind of also getting into predictions a little bit, But that's kind of where I see things going, especially since they like highlighted a couple of her comments last week. I wonder if that was like like getting that sort of like in people's minds that she's saying these things, rubbing people the wrong way. I don't know.
I think this is not an original thought at all, but what they have been doing in the new era, because like the format is so repetitive and predictable, they all know they're anticipating a split tribal thing next week. And so what happens before that is nobody's trying to make a big swing at this. They're trying to like cut loose whoever they can just like pile on, whoever, either whether it's like, you know, Siva just like cutting somebody loose, or whoever it is, maybe that doesn't have anyone going to bat for them. It's always going to be someone like that in this spot, at the merge spot, because they know the split thing is coming next week, and you could get totally hosed by who you get swapped with. So you want to be in a good position. You don't want to rock the boat too much. You want to like get rid of someone who's going to upset the least amount of people. So I do feel like for that reason, it probably will be something like we've seen before. Like nothing super dramatic is going to happen tonight is my guess.
I have also thought about that. I'm like, I feel like we've had every single episode has been an insane tribal council. I'm like, I feel like we're in for like a dud episode. And what I mean by a dud episode is not that it's going to be bad. I just feel like it's, we'll get to the predictions, but the person that everyone is predicting to go home tonight would be kind of, and I love you so much. I'm not going to say whether it's a guy or a girl yet. I'm going to hold this suspense. I love you so much, but if this person ends up going home based on the edit, it would kind of be like like not a big time player who we've seen a lot on screen. But we're going to go ahead. I'm looking at the time right now. We are under 30 minutes to the start of episode 6 of Survivor 48. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got one more topic to discuss. I've got a question that someone put in the chat that is actually a really fun question. And we got to get to our predictions. We'll be right back, guys.
Think you're the most knowledgeable Survivor superfan? Well, you can put that to the test with our Fantasy Survivor game. Welcome to Bracketology, fantasy sports for reality TV. We provide fantasy football-style games for your favorite shows like Survivor and many more. We also have bracket-style elimination challenges. Set your picks once for the whole season to see how your prediction skills fared. And don't forget to check out the season extras like contestant info, where you can see all the bios of each contestant, and our scoring recaps that are published each episode. Download the Bracketology mobile app or play on your computer at fantasy.bracketology.tv. It's entirely free to play, and you can win some awesome prizes. Good luck.
Don't forget to check out your Bracketology teams. We've got a great competition going on right now. The scoreboard, I'm looking at it. Gibbles. I love that name. Gibbles is in first, 708. Second is Emily Little. Friend of the podcast. Yes, Emily, 704. And then last year's champion, Logan, is literally in third with 696. The man knows how to pick his team. So make sure to hop on over Bracketology to make your picks. I've picked my team. I mean, I'm not doing great this season. Where am I at? I'm 205th out of like 900 people.
Oh, man.
So I'm not doing great. Where are you at, Josh?
I'm looking right now. I'm also not doing too hot. I've made some picks I definitely have made some picks each week that did not go too well. Like Justin, I think I had him really high in the confidence pool the week that he left. Survivor now, I'm 125.
Oh, you're disappointing me though. I'm 205. Ollie, where are you at?
Somewhere.
Better or worse than 125?
Someone said Randy should have watched it.
Randy, that's all I know.
Apparently. Well, this is my team this week. The reason I'm doing so bad, not to go down this rabbit hole, episode 4, I had Thomas, who got -12, and I had Shaheen, who had +8. I got 45 points that episode, which was awful. Tonight, I'm going to have the best team. I've got David, the milkman. I got Joe. I've got Kyle, and I've got Mitch. I'm going all dudes tonight. I have. So
how feminist of you.
Words, Randy.
Not going to end up being good. Adrian said, I'm at 456. That's tough. There's still time. There's still plenty of time. Make sure to check those teams. Let's go ahead and get to our last topic, guys. It kind of goes with the merge. It kind of goes with what we were talking about dynamic duos this season. And that is, which dynamic duo will turn on each other first? We've got Joe and Eva, which seem locked. Like nothing's going to happen there. It would have to be Eva turning on Joe, I think. We have Kyle and Camilla. We have Cedric and Say. And then we have Joe and Shaheen. So I will go to Tori first. I know you were live voting on these polls. Where did your vote go today?
So my vote ultimately went to Cedric and Say, just because they've been shaky recently. However, I could see a world in which Joe and Shaheen kind of separate. We'll see. But I don't think Joe and Eva are separating, and I don't think – who was the other one?
Joe and Shaheen.
Oh, okay.
No, that was another one.
Oh, Kyle and Camilla was the other
one.
one.
I don't think they're separating either.
All right, what are we thinking, Josh, on terms of duos? Like everyone, I feel like, not to spoil it, I'll show the results, but everyone is saying Cedric and Say.
Yeah, I mean, they're on the really shaky ground going into this. We've seen a lot. Yeah, just a lot of shakiness. And then Say, even though she survived the last tribal council and Cedric is the one who helped spare her, she did not seem happy. When the other three duos seem like they've been operating in lockstep so far. So I definitely think Cedric can Say.
I mean, Ollie, there's a whole dynamic too. I mean, I put this comment up. I mean,
I think this is fair.
I think the whole edit plot line is Say is going to betray Cedric. But the thing is, we saw it last week too, Cedric voting with Chrissy. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around that.
I really hope they give us an explanation at the beginning.
I think they will.
Yeah,
I really hope they do.
Yeah. Because Chrissy ended up going with Cedric. I need a flashback because when I first saw that, I assumed that it was Cedric and Say. Like, oh, Cedric told Say. No, like Say looks like she was left out of the dark. And at some point, if you're Say, you got to be like, man, I've given you one chance, 2 chances. You've struck out, pal.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, it's Cedric and Say for me. And I think I just completely understand why. Like, if I was Say, I wouldn't trust Cedric. So I think everyone's got it quite right, to be honest.
I should have took more time to think of the answers because I love this comment. Forgot the David and Milk combination. That combination never splitting up. No. Let's get to the results here. Which dynamic duo will turn on each other first? 88% Cedric and Say. 3% for Joe, Eva, Kyle, Camilla, and 5% Joe and Shaheen. That seems about right.
I'm surprised it's that low.
Yeah,
for which one?
It seems like a slam dunk.
Yeah, I was thinking the 90s.
Yeah. I just want to ask the 3% who voted Joe and Eva, how would that? I thought that was going to be 0% because like Eva would have. Joe is not turning on Eva, like point blank. He will blow up his game going to war for her.
And she's not turning on him either, especially not this early.
Yeah. That was the thing. It would have to be Eva turning on Joe, and do any of us honestly see her making that move?
Not yet.
Definitely not yet.
Yeah. That would be a tough one. That would be like, oh my gosh, could you imagine if she does turn on Joe? Like that would be like the ultimate betrayal.
I think the only reason. Sorry, Tori, you can go ahead.
No, that's fine. Go. I wasn't really going to say anything. I'm just
okay. I was going to say the only reason you'd like turn on a duo this early is if it's like someone like Genevieve and Rome last season when Rome's like a huge liability, and that's not even necessarily her like turning on him; it's more just her like cutting bait and like letting him go. Yeah. Otherwise, there's not really. Yeah, right at the beginning of the merge is not the time to like turn on someone in your duo unless you have reason to already. They either have to be a liability or you don't trust them, like what Cedric can Say.
That was Genevieve's of mice and men moment where she took Lenny out back for the flowers. She took Rome out back.
Yeah, I mean that was inevitable.
Yeah, I'm happy that I paid enough attention in English class back in the day to get that reference. But it was Genevieve being like, "I'm sorry, Rome, I got to take you out here." Let's see. Adrienne adds in, overall, the poll question is basically saying that Mary and Say are the ultimate duo.
I was so here for that last week too. I mean, obviously, everybody was talking about the Eva and Joe moment, which as they should, but I was so here for the Mary and Say moments as well. Like, I was loving
that was funny.
They're going to work together. They're over it. I loved it.
Before we get to our predictions, as we continue to count down for tonight's episode, which I know we are all so excited for, I'm telling you, Weatherman, stay off my TV. I need Survivor. I wish there was just like a mute Weatherman option, honestly. But I do want to remind everybody, if I can find the pop-up, Survivor Now is going to be live. You are hearing me. This is an insane opportunity that Ron Clark, the Ron Clark Academy, his assistant Robin, have given us. The time has been adjusted. We are actually going live on stage at 7. I'm not the only person who's going to be there. Matthew also going to be there. Kara is hoping to be there. She's a maybe. Matthew is for sure going to be there. And Tori is also going to be there. Tori, not on the spot, but like, what can people expect for the pre-show? Obviously, they're watching us right now. Like, it's always a fun time, and just being on stage is going to be incredible.
Yes. No, I'm so excited. First of all, that's my birthday, so you're gonna get me on my birthday.
What?
Nice.
That's incredible. Now I'm gonna buy a cake and everything. We're gonna do it live on stage.
This is celebration enough, so y'all get to celebrate my birthday with me, and it's just gonna be like the energy levels are gonna be like up here, like I don't know, so much higher than usual, and I'm just so excited. It's gonna be great.
Josh, please tell me you're not in a fire right now.
No, we're good.
So excited.
I got so scared. I was like, Josh, run. Ollie, I mean, I'm so excited for this. Tori, I'm so excited to meet you. Like, outside of the podcasting camera and everything. Ollie, we wish you could join us on the pre-show, but I do want to go to you. You've been with Survivor Now. Between Tori, you, and Josh, you've been here the longest. What does this mean? What can people expect from Survivor Now for this show?
It means I get to have a break. It's fabulous. No, I'm joking. No, it's a really cool opportunity, and obviously, like, I think all of us, even the ones that can't make it, so sorry. It's just a great opportunity for Survivor Now, and to even engage with not just the fans but the community that is Survivor. Like, the Ron Clark Academy, like their events, I've watched their events now for the last couple of seasons. It's amazing. So to have that opportunity, like, I think everyone just is grateful for them. And Ron, you're welcome on the podcast at any point.
Yes, please come on. I just want to emphasize, thank you to everyone. This is an insane opportunity. We're going to start planning the show. We're going to have a great show for you guys. Just to let you know how tickets are sold out. And by sold out, they were free tickets, but I don't know if you guys watched Ron Clark on RHAP, but he confirmed the information. Over 800 people are going to be there. Over 60 former castaways, not to mention the current cast. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
You did.
Yeah, no one heard it. But also, so over 800 people. April 16th at Ron Clark's Academy. He said on RHEP, this is the last time he's going to do a free event because it's getting so big. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be food, drinks. It is going to be a party. It's going to be insane. So make sure, if you got your tickets, come check us out in the auditorium. We go live at 7. So from 7 to 7:40, we will be on stage getting you guys ready for episode 8, I believe, is the episode that will be airing. And then at 7:40, they'll take over, and then we will all be in the auditorium watching the episode together. So it is going to be an insane night. So definitely hope all of you guys can make it out for that. We had a few comments. He said a little over 600. I like 800 more. I'm going with the 800 thing. Polly adds in trending fine lines here. Yeah, I'll get a message immediately, and I'll have to mute this part of the podcast. Phenomass also adds in, on what season did you start Survivor Now? Just like every other podcast out there, for the most part, season 41 is when we started Survivor Now. So we've been going for 8 seasons now, or we're on our 8th season. All right, let's get to this final topic, which is basically the votes. And Ollie, you talked about it on Got Something For You. The fans chose Bianca last week, and they were correct. I'm so happy and proud of all of you guys. So you guys are 1 and 2 on picking who goes home. You're still below 500. So you need to You need to get this right. Josh, I'll start with you. Who's your prediction? Who do you think's going home tonight?
Oh, man. Everyone is saying Charity. And I think I agree with everyone. I think it's going to be Charity.
That was the person that I was talking about. Like, if Charity ends up going home, we have not had the edit with Charity. So it would kind of be like a Matt vote. And Charity, girl, you know I love you. You're amazing. But, yeah, I'm kind of hoping it's a shock. Ollie, I'll go to you next. Who's your prediction? Are you going with Josh and the normal Charity?
No. I want to throw a left field one out there. I want to throw a round the way one. I'm going to go Cedric.
I love that. That's my pick. I think Cedric could be going.
Never mind. I want to pick something different. No, yeah, I'm going to go Cedric. I feel like, yes, we've seen a fair bit of edit now from Cedric, but I feel like from what we now know about New Era, whatever the promos tell you, ignore it. So, yeah, that's why I'm going to go with Cedric.
Tori, where are you leaning?
I mean, I was super wrong last week. By the way, I said a theory that turned out to be not only already not true when I said it, but not true last week. I said that whenever somebody loses their vote, that's never the person that goes home. And
you did put it out there. Bianca messaged me and said, "Hey, where does Tori live? Because we have a problem."
Yeah, no, literally, Bianca. I was so sad to see her go because I was like, I would be friends with this girl in real life. Like, I like.
She seems so fun. She seems so fun.
Yeah, she seems like a lot of fun. Anyway, I like both those answers. Cedric, Charity make a lot of sense. Love them too. I think I was kind of thinking Say, just because of what I said earlier about like kind of not. She's not Rome. Rome is Rome, and no one is Rome. But Say is kind of giving that in a way, like kind of like rubbed some people the wrong way. We were talking earlier about the fact that some people want to like make it a kind of a clean vote. And I think that's one that a lot of people can maybe agree with each other on, except for maybe a couple people, but ultimately might be able to get on board. I'm going to go with that, I think.
Well, I'm so sorry to Phenom. We're running out of time, so we can't really answer this question. But I did want to bring this up kind of about the Say thing. Why do you guys think they gave a record number of confessionals to Say? Is it just to overenhance the audience? I mean, you can have a quick answer if you want.
Like, I don't know about record, but like Banu got a ton of screen time. Rome got a ton of screen time. Like, there's sometimes people that they just like bring a lot of energy to the show early on. If they go early, they go early. But you know, it's not. I compare it to that. I don't think. Yeah, if she's like gonna win or something, which I don't know if I see at this point, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna have her be like the main character of the whole season necessarily. Like I could see her going early, and I don't know. She's brought a lot so far, but yeah, I could see it being like a more of that type of situation.
Well, let's go ahead and get to who the fans think's going home. Josh kind of spoiled it a little bit because he knows where they're leaning tonight. 22
Oh my
votes.
God.
20. By the way, we had about 50, 60 people vote. There was other votes for Cedric. Star got some votes. So there was some votes around. 22 said that Charity's going home tonight. The second most was Say with 5. Last week's vote, you see there in the top left, Bianca, and there's your record in the top right. Don't forget, you guys can join us every Wednesday around noon, 1 o'clock, to vote on our polls and share in your votes. That's what the people are saying. Charity is going home. What do we think? Do we want to double down on that? Josh, I know you said Charity. Ollie, Tori, do you think Charity, or is it a little too obvious that it could be Charity tonight?
I feel like it is very obvious. Sorry, you go, Josh.
I mean, I don't think she's gotten quite the. I'm thinking of like a lot of like women specifically who have gone at the merge before, who maybe some of them were a little more grating or obnoxious, like in their edits. But you know, I'm thinking of like Ellie from 43 or Chanel from 42 didn't go right at the merge, but she went right when she was available to go. Or like Alina from Nicaragua, or you know, like people who are maybe like no one's like super tight with them, and they just like get a good, or RC from Philippines. That was another one I was thinking. Like get a good amount of like narrative focus in the pre-merge, but no one's like super tight with them, and then it's just they're set up to go with the merge. That's the vibe I'm getting from Charity.
I just think that I can definitely see that, and I understand why a lot of people think that may happen because of all the points that have already been made. I just think she has such a strong connection with Mitch, and a lot of people want to connect with Mitch and maybe don't want to upset him right away. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think Mitch has like, you know, planted the seed with enough people and has a good enough like social game where he's going to continue to connect with people. And for that reason, I think Charity's maybe going to stick around a little bit longer.
I love that. I hope. Oh, my pop figure just fell. My bad. I hope Tori is right because I do not want Charity to go home. But okay, 7 minutes away. I hate to cut us off, you know, here, but we've got 7 minutes until tonight's episode. We all have to run to our living rooms. Mine's like right there, but and watch tonight's episode or try to watch the episode. I want to remind everyone, you can jump right back on with us immediately after the episode airs. So myself, Josh, we will be, or hopefully me, Josh will probably be here. Bruce and Abraham will be joining us as well for the Survivor 48 after show. You can watch that on YouTube, X, or head on over to survivornowpodcast.com where you can check all of our podcasts, all of our programming. We've got a lot of shows scheduled this week. You can also head to our website, our social media to see the scheduled for all of those. If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check us out on social media at Survivor Now Pod on X and at Survivor Now Podcast on Blue Sky and Instagram. And yeah, get to the living room, guys. We've got an episode of Survivor. We'll see you later for the after show immediately following the episode.